Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for your coming here and participating in this great movement known as Krishna consciousness or Hare Kṛṣṇa movement. This Hare Kṛṣṇa movement was started 500 years ago by Lord Caitanya Mahāprabhu in a place which is now known as Nadia. It is a district in West Bengal, about 60 miles north of Calcutta. Lord Caitanya appeared there about 485 years ago, and he took sannyas. Sannyas means renounced order of life. According to Vedic civilization, at the end of one's life, one has to take sannyas, renounced order of life. No family connection. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at very early age, he was only 24 years old, and he had at his home very nice young wife and very affectionate mother, but still what does he say?
He says he's talking about death. Prabhupada says he wants to have sex more than once a month. Man says he wants to have sex life more than once a month.
He's creating disturbance. So, as this man is talking about sex, so this world, material world, is enchanted by sex. That is material world. Striyang pungsang striyami thuni bhavame tat. This whole material world is existing on sex attraction. Not only in the human society, in animal society also, this sex impulse is there. Birds, beasts, animal, human being, even demigods, they are attracted in this material world by sex impulse. The Shastra or the Vedic literature, there is mention about this, that we are in this material world only for the sex impulse. First of all, we think of sex. A man also thinks, a woman also thinks. And when they are united, that attraction becomes more and more complete. Then, in a gentlemanly way, when there is sex unity, then there is need of a nice apartment or house. Then there is a need of land. Formerly, for living condition, everyone possessed some land to grow foodstuff. Atha grihat kshetra sutartha vittai. So after sex unity, there is need of house, land, griha kshetra, then children, Atha griha kshetra suta aptya, then friends, then vitya, then money. In this way, we increase our attachment for this material world. Janasa mohoyam. Moha means illusion. In this way, he becomes illusion. Aham mameti, I and mine. Here, the real problem is we want to get out of this material conditional life. We are spirit soul. We are not matter. But in order to enjoy this material world, we have come here. Every one of us who is existing within this material world has a desire to lord it over the material nature. It is said, when a living entity, a part and parcel of God, he desires independently to enjoy or to lord it over the material nature, he comes down from the spiritual world to this material world. That is the cause of his fall down. Krishna bhuliya jeev bhog mancha kore, pasete maya tare japotiya dhare. Maya means the illusory energy, where we want to enjoy, but it is not actual enjoyment. It is illusion. So, the sex life in this material world is the center of this attraction. So, our Krishna consciousness movement is how to get the living entity out of this material entanglement. Because real happiness is not sensual happiness. Real happiness is above the senses. It is supramental sense or spiritual sense. With the gross senses, what we enjoy, that is temporary. It is not permanent. The permanent enjoyment is transcendental sense enjoyment. There is, in the Vedic literature, a verse, Ramante yogina anante satyanande chidatmane iti rama padenaso parabrahma avidhiyate. Yogina, those who are yogis mean those who are trying to reawaken Krishna consciousness. He is called yogi. Our present consciousness is material consciousness. The material consciousness, the sex urge is very strong. Janamaithunadi grihamedi sukham mitucham. It is said in the Shastra that the grihamedi, those who are attracted by this material world, their center of enjoyment is sex. Janmaithunadi grihamedi sukham mitucham. Konduanena karayoriva dukha dukham. This sex urge is a sort of itching sensation. Konduyanayam. Tipantaneha kripana bahudukha bhaja. By satisfying this itching sensation, he becomes entrapped in so many ways. So many ways. That's a fact. Apart from those who are enjoying illicit sex, even those who are enjoying sex in regulated principles, they are also enter. Take for example one regular household. In your country, it is different social situation. But in our country, in India, a family life is a great responsibility. The father and mother has to take full responsibility for education of the children, grow up nicely, and the father, mother is under obligation to get the boys and the girls married. Unless the children are married, the father's or the mother's responsibility continues. That is our social system. At least in India, those who are following Vedic principles of life, especially for getting married, the daughter, it is called Konnadai. Pitri Rin, Putra Rin, Matri Rin. We have got so many debts to clear. This is responsibility. Devarsi Bhutata Ninanga Pitrina. We are indebted to the demigods, just like sun is one of the demigods. We are enjoying the sunshine. We are indebted to him. This is responsibility. Suppose if you take electricity light, you are responsible for paying the bill. Similarly, you are taking so much advantage of the sunlight, you are also obliged to pay the debts, repay the debts. Deva, Rishi. Rishi means those who have given us the Vedic literature. Just like Narad Muni, Vyasdev, they have given us. Vyasdev given us immense literature. Immense literature. He has written Mahabharata, he has written the 18 Puranas. One of the Puranas is the Bhagavad Purana, and he has written the Upanishads. Then he has compiled Vedanta Sutra, and each and every book, there are innumerable verses. In Mahabharata, there are 100,000 of verses. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. And if you study one verse, it will take at least 1 week to understand. So grave thoughts. So therefore, we are reading all these Vedic literatures. Certainly, we are indebted to them. So we are indebted to the demigods, just like the sun god, the moon god, the Indra. Indra is supplying us water. Of course, in your country there is no such conception. But the Vedic knowledge gives us full information how water is being supplied, how light is being supplied, how air is being supplied by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Don't take it irresponsibly. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has arranged so many things. Just like in your city, there is Department of Water Supply, there is Department of Light Supply, there is different departments. Similarly, in the kingdom of God, there are departments. But because we are foolish, we do not know how the departments are being conducted. So, we are not paying any bills. The bills are paid according to the Vedic injunction by performing sacrifices. So in this way, our point is sex life. A grihastha, a householder, he has got debts towards his parents, towards his father, towards his mother, towards his wife, towards his children. This society should be human society, not the cats and dog society. That is Vedic conception. So, in the Vedic conception of life, the sex life is there, but you become indebted. You must repay the debts. If you simply beget children like cats and dogs and go away, then you become responsible for the sinful activities. You must take responsibility. So this man was suggesting he wants sex life at least once in a month. Yes, that is allowed. That is allowed in the Vedic civilization. When the wife is in menstrual period, after 5 days of the menstrual period, the wife and husband can have sex life for begetting rightful children. And before begetting a child, one must go, if he is in the higher orders of society, one must accept the Garbhadhan Sanskar. Garbhadhan Sanskar means that child born out of the sex life of the father and mother must come out a very nice child, not like the cat and dog. That is called Garbhadhan Sanskar. Those who are in the higher position of the society, they are obliged to observe 10 kinds of purificatory processes, out of which the first purificatory process is Garbhadhan Sanskar. So, the parents, when they take to sex life for begetting nice children, there is Garbhadhan Sanskar. And if one does not observe this Garbhadhan Sanskar, he immediately falls down to the group of Shudra from Brahminical position. These are the injunctions in the Vedic literature. Sex life is not denied, but one must take responsibility for sex life. Otherwise, he becomes entangled in so many sinful activities. Because here in the material world, everyone is a criminal. Just like in the prison house, when a criminal is there, in every step there is law. He cannot violate the laws of the prison house. Similarly, here also, in this material world, who have come here to enjoy, there is no enjoyment. There is simply suffering. But we take sufferings as enjoyment. That is called illusion. Anyway, the Vedic principle has allowed everything, because here we have come to enjoy so-called sense gratification. That is illusion. So there is a regulated principle. You can't have sex life once in a month. That is prescribed. Because the woman has once in a month menstrual period. So sex life is meant for simply begetting nice children, not for sense gratification. Therefore, because the woman gets the menstrual period once in a month, therefore the man can have sex life just after the menstrual period over, after 5 days. He can have sex life with his wife under Garbhadhan Sanskar, responsibility. Otherwise, he becomes implicated in sinful activities. That is Vedic injunction. So, sex life is not denied. Just like in our society, the boys and girls, they come to our society, and as far as possible, we get them married. We don't allow to leave the boys and girls and friends like friends. No, that is a great sinful activity. So nothing is denied. The problem of life is eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So everything is there, but in a regulated form. In regulated form, so that the world may not become hell. If it is irregulated form, then the whole world will be hell. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Narakaya, Varna Sankara. When we produce unwanted children, the whole world becomes just like hell. It is going to happen like that at the present moment. The sex life is not denied. The point is discussed because it was raised. Sex life is not denied, but in a regulated form so that you can get nice population, you can live very happily. Not that if you produce unwanted children and they turn out rogues, thieves, and drunkards like that. That is not allowed. You must produce nice children. For that purpose, sex life is allowed. And especially in this age, at the present moment, if you can produce children to become Krishna conscious, that will be a great service to the Lord. Because we want now Krishna conscious population. Otherwise, this world is going to hell. That's a fact. We are dwindling, liquidation. There were great empires like Roman Empire, Greece Empire, Carthaginian Empire, and later on, Mughal empires, British Empire. So many empires there were. There was Hitler, there was Mussolini, there was Napoleon. So, these powerful empires or men came and gone. Their name is only there. Nothing is remaining. So, I came to your country. Your country is very nice country, America. I heard it from India. So, I decided to come here because I heard that your country is very nice. And when I came here, I saw actually your country is very nice. Your cities, your buildings, your men also, because mostly my students, they are Americans, and they help me very kindly to push on this movement. So I have studied the American life, very nice. They have good heart. So only thing is wanted, Krishna consciousness. For want of this Krishna consciousness, despite your all opulences, you are becoming confused and frustrated. I hear that out of 3, 1 man is a patient of a psychiatrist. Why? Why you are unhappy? Why you should be unhappy? You have got everything. Enough food, enough land, enough money, enough intelligence. Why you should be unhappy? The cause you should try to find out. The cause is that without Krishna consciousness, without God consciousness, nobody can be happy. That is the cause. So, my request is that this movement is started from America, from New York. In 1966, I registered this movement, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and since then we are spreading. In your country, we have got about 50 branches all over the country, America, and we have got other branches also, about 50 in Europe, in Canada, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Japan, in India also. India, of course, Krishna consciousness movement is known since a very, very long time. At least everyone in India knows what is Krishna consciousness, and he may not be seriously engaged in Krishna consciousness, but even a street man, a street boy knows what is Krishna. In your country, this this movement is started since 1966, but in 67 I was sick. I went back to India and again came back in 1968, and since that time we are pushing on this movement little very highly, and it is being affected. It is being affected. People are understanding. So my request is that you have got all material resources. Don't waste your time. Life is very valuable, especially this human form of life. Labdha sudurlavamidam bahusambhavante. This human form of life is achieved after many, many births of evolutionary process. We had to undergo 900,000 species of life in water. Jalaja navalakkhani, sthavara lokhavimsati, 2 millions of species of life through plants and trees. Sthavara lokhavimsati, krimayo rudrasankaka, 1100,000 species of life of insects and reptiles. Pakshinam dasalakhakam, and 1 million species of life amongst the birds. Then Trinksalakhani possible, and then 3 million species of life amongst the beasts. In this way, there are 400,000 species of human form of life, out of which the civilized form of life, when our consciousness is developed, that is the opportunity to understand what is God, what I am, what is my relationship with God, what is this material world, how I shall treat. That is needed. In the Vedanta Sutra, it is said, Athata Brahma Jigyasa. This human, this civilized form of human life is meant for inquiring about Brahma, the Supreme, the Absolute Truth. So, this Krishna consciousness movement is giving knowledge about the Absolute Truth, Parabrahma. The Sanskrit word is Parabrahma, and Krishna is Parabrahma. If you have read Bhagavad Gita on the 10th chapter, when Arjuna summarizes his understanding after hearing Bhagavad Gita, he says, Parabrahma, Paramadhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Krishna, I understand that you are the Supreme Personality, Absolute Truth, Parabrahma. Paramadhama, you are the reservoir of everything. Pavitram, you are the Supreme Pure. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Purusham Shasatam Adyam. You are the Supreme Person. Krishna, the Absolute Truth, is not impersonal. He is the Supreme Person. He is Supreme Person. He is the Absolute Truth. And we are presenting Krishna before you. And you take it. most of the Western country, they are Christian. So the Christian believe in Lord Jesus Christ as Son of God. But we are presenting the Father, God Himself. So there is no contradiction. If there is Son, there must be a Father also. Without Father, there cannot be Son. So if you believe in the Son, then you must believe in the Father also. The Father is Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvajonishu Kaunteya Sambhavanti Murtayaja. Aham, Bija Pada Pita. He is the seed-giving Father for all living entities. So Krishna is for everyone. Don't think that Krishna, as it is stated in your English dictionary, Krishna is a Hindu god. He is not Hindu, he is not Muslim, or he is not Christian. He is God. God is neither Hindu nor Muslim nor Christian. It is bodily designations. I am Hindu, you are Christian. This is body, just like dress. You have got some black coat, another has got some white coat. That does not mean we are different because we are in different coat or shirt. As human beings, we are all sons of God. We are one. That is the concept. So, at the present moment, we have divided the world on account of this shirt and coat. That is not good. Actually, the whole world or the whole universe belongs to God. This is Krishna conscious. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Jagadavasam Sarvaloko Maheswaram Surhidam Sarvabhutanam Gyatya Mam Shantimichet. We have divided God's land. This is America, this is India, this is Germany, this is England. But after all, this is our given land. This planet especially, not only this planet, all other planets. Krishna says, Sarvaloka Maheswaram. He is the proprietor. Formerly, 5,000 years ago, this planet was being governed by Krishna's representative, Maharaj Parikshit. That is actually lie. Krishna is the proprietor of all planets, and one should be Krishna's representative to rule over the planet. That is Vedic system. There cannot be any king or emperor who is not representative of God. It is the duty of the representative of God to take charge of a planet and educate the person, the citizens, into God consciousness. That is Vedic way of life. Not that the chief executive or the government simply levies taxes from the citizens and let them go to hell. This is not good government. The government must be responsible for the uplift of the citizen to the spiritual life. That is real government. So that was being done 5,000 years ago by Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit, those who have read Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this Srimad Bhagavatam begins from the question of Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit, at the last stage of his life, when he was to leave for 7 days only, he decided to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and become liberated from this material life. And it so happened. The idea is, the Maharaj Parikshit was so pious that when he was touring in his kingdom all over the world, he found one man, one black man, was trying to kill one cow. Immediately, Maharaj Parikshit took his sword and wanted to kill the man. He was Kali. So who are you that you are killing cow in my kingdom? So, formerly, when the whole world was under the one king of the Pandavas, just like Parikshit Maharaj, there was equal protection for the animals and the man. Not that man should be given protection by law and not the animals. The animals, they are also national. What is the meaning of national? One who is born in that land. Suppose you are American. You are born in this land of America, therefore you are American national. Why not the cats and the dogs and the cows? They are also national. So this is injustice, that to give protection to the humankind and to send the animals to the slaughterhouse. These inequality, discrimination between man and animal is due to lack of Krishna consciousness. When one becomes actually Krishna conscious, he does not make such distinction that a man should be given protection and the animal should be killed. So our Krishna consciousness movement is a spiritual movement. It is reformatory movement, inclusive all sides of life. Don't think that we are simply chanting and dancing. Our philosophy includes all different activities of humankind. Either it may be religious or political or social or cultural, anything, industrial, everything. So my request is that this movement was started in your country. And these American boys and girls, they have taken it seriously. So kindly cooperate with this movement and you will be happy. That is my request. Thank you very much. Hare